it works this time. We have a great show. I'm live. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the chat. You guys are watching live with LWL, Lindsay with Love. Today is August 13th, Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. And once again, we are chatting about free will. We are chatting about living in the simulation or not. We are talking about catalyst. We are talking about, does your soul have a plan? If it has a plan, why the heck do you face so many challenges? There's lots to discuss, a lot to discuss today. Catherine is in the house. Good morning, Catherine. Pedro's in the chat. Maya, Sean, the Flipper, Jen, welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. Nicole is in the chat. Kim is in the chat. So many people. Let's get going, you guys. I'm a little bit late. YouTube was being a little squirrely, so we're back. We're here. If you were here with me yesterday, did you ride the energetic wave? I rode the wave. I finished 2 reports. Life was good. Thank you for the likes. Oh, I'm not going to be able to say your name. TJ's in the chat. AJ, art and music. Not Napo. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I butchered that. Amber's in the chat. Absolutely is in the house. Okay, if you were on the energetic wave yesterday, please just say you rode the wave all day. It was a great day for me. I feel good. I feel happy. I'm vibrant. I'm alive. I am back in action after visiting New York City. And I have so many things I want to discuss with you today. Brenda's in the chat. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Amber. Hello, Goddess Angie. Welcome to the chat, my friends. All right, so today, once again, we are talking about, do we have free will? And what was our soul's plan when we came in? How do we know we're growing? How do we know we're headed in the right direction? Why the heck are we facing challenges in our life? And what can we do to overcome them? It's a big topic, but I think we can go through it, kind of dissect it detail for detail, line for line, and it's going to be good. Samantha's in the house. Thank you for the like, Samantha, user 419. Welcome to the chat, Megan, Sarah, Evie, Samantha, thank you for the likes. Yeah, if you guys could just hit the like button a few times, let TikTok know we're live and in action. It took me a second to log on this morning. That would be super helpful. Valerie's here, Ash is here. Sarah, Evie, thank you. Dane, welcome to the chat. Valerie G, welcome to the chat. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about hypnosis. I heard Scott Adams say that we must not have free will if hypnosis works. We must not have free will, and hypnosis proves that we don't have free will. But then somebody that was in the chat said, well, I hypnotize people. And I said, well, yes, but people likely come to you to be hypnotized, right? They come to you because they have an addiction, or they're trying to resolve something stuck in their body, some trauma, or change their life in some way, or maybe they want like past life regression, whatever it might be, but they're signing up for it, right? They're signing up for it. Thank you for the likes, Catherine J. Welcome to the chat. Valerie, welcome to the chat. And I thought to myself, okay, well then what about brainwashing, right? Because with television programming, specifically the news, which is mostly propaganda, it is brainwashing, right? So I was like, well, TV programming is brainwashing. And yes, people choose to turn on the station and they choose to keep watching. But at what point is it no longer like really a choice for them, but it's more like a very strong habit and very genuinely like brainwashing, right? At what point? Annie is in the chat. Permanent Press is in the chat. Tesoro is in the chat, or Tess maybe. Andrea, Kelly, holy cow, Brittany, thank you guys for joining the chat. At what point does it become brainwashing? Is there a fine line between like now you're brainwashed versus you're just in a big, serious kind of unhealthy habit, right? Which is it? So I was questioning that yesterday. And then I was like, well, if we actually are always being programmed, right? So say we live in a simulation. What is a simulation? A simulation needs programming, right? So if we are always being programmed anyway, why not just choose the programming you want? Choose that you are the most powerful creature on this planet and you create your reality. Choose that you're the strongest manifester that you know and you're creating your reality, right? Welcome to the chat. Holy cow, so many new people in the house. Please say hello if you're new here. Wow. Jesse's in the house. Sierra's in the house. Users 956. Perry. Shot Kalak. Adam is in the house. Nurse Who Watercolors. That's fun. Kathleen is in the house. Ernie, it looks like Little Miss. Jessica, holy cow. Kristen. So many new people in the chat. So I went on a little bit of a deeper dive. I was like, I need to know a little bit more about this because it sparked my curiosity and I'm a truth seeker first and foremost. So I'm thinking to myself, if I can just brainwash myself rather than somebody do it for me, like if I just turn off the TV for months, I never watch the TV again, and I just brainwash myself into believing and thinking, well, first and foremost, I do believe we create our own reality. So that's not a problem. The next problem is, always staying in that frequency. I believe I'm in the highest frequency all the time. I believe that I'm always being compassionate and empathetic and helpful and understanding and all those things. And I believe that because I'm doing these things, I will receive everything I desire in my reality. Why not just choose that if we're already always being programmed and already always being brainwashed? I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you following me? Do you feel like this makes sense, or do you feel like I'm a little bit crazy? It's okay if you feel that way. I don't mind. I'm just curious. Like, if hypnosis takes away your free will, which it does, right? You're hypnotized, and then the guy says, quack like a duck, and you start quacking, like, you have lost your free will. Somebody else is telling you what to do, and you're doing it without saying, I don't want to do that, or whatever. So if we don't have full free will, then are we just a little bit programmed? Are we totally programmed? I don't know. So I went on this dive down the research hole, and I started looking at the channelings from Quo. You guys know I like reading about Quo. It is a group called LWL Research. They have been channeling since 1972, I believe. And they started with the channelings of an entity called Ra. And then soon they started channeling an entity called Quo, which is a group of high density beings. Okay, so Quo basically is truth seeking still as well. They're a group of high density beings that's truth seekers as well. But what they're doing is they're in a higher density. And so I don't want to say that they're like smarter than us, but they kind of are, because they figured it out and they've transcended. Okay, so when this group channels Quo, they get a lot of information around how to stand in our highest frequency, how to heal ourselves, how to spread love and joy and compassion, how to help raise the frequency of the planet, how to recognize that we have free will, how to step into our faith, all of these really powerful things that will, hello, Kashina, welcome to the chat. Love is in the room. Don is in the room. Kristen is in the room. Christy in the room. How do we do these things to transcend into higher frequencies? So Quo, I found a channeling from September. I have my computer right here, you guys, by the way, and I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to misspeak or misguide you. I'm doing the best I can. It's a little bit mumbo jumbo in my brain a little bit right now, but I'm hoping, sorry, I need to just open my curtain a little bit. I'm hoping that we can move through it together. Okay, so Quo says so now this group is channeling Quo on September 17th, 2016. By the way, you guys can see these transcripts online at their website, lwresearch.org. Anybody can read them. So they've written them all out since 1972. It's very powerful. So they say, they're having the same question. They're saying, is life really rigged in our favor? They say that they start off the conversation with Quo, and they say, this is a paraphrased quote from one of Rumi's poems. Live life as if everything is rigged in your favor. Okay. Influence yourself, program yourself, brainwash yourself as if everything good is happening for you always. It's always happening in your favor. Step one. So I've already kind of gone now to this idea that maybe I'm onto something here. Well, I'm not, right? This is an idea that's probably been out in the collective, but it's finally coming to me and my energy. Welcome, VIPE is in the house. Kelly is in the chat. Thank you for the likes. Hello, Jax. Hello, Bruce. Hello, Wendy in the house. Okay, so then the group also says, thank you for the rose, Wendy. The group also says the Confederation, meaning the Galactic Confederation, also echoes the same philosophy, especially as it relates to the working of Catalyst. So what they're basically saying is we receive Catalyst in our external environment all day, every day. And they want to know, is this Catalyst really rigged for us to be living our best lives? Did we come to this earth believing and expecting that we will live our best freaking life every single day? That's the question. And Quo is going to answer it as we move through today's chat. By the way, guys, I would love to ebb and flow with you. So I'm the river and we are hanging out, collaborating together. So if you have thoughts and ideas about what I'm talking about, please drop them in the chat so we can kind of start the conversation. Gabby is in the house. Hello, Gabby. For those of you that are in the Manifesting Club, really quickly, a reminder, quick break in the programming, a little reminder that we are manifesting together on Wednesday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to make sure to attend one or both of the sessions. And I sent out the first email. It's going to be sent out in a couple of hours with Zoom information for you guys. Okay. Ocean, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Claire is in the house. Welcome to the chat. Okay. So, and for those of you that missed the Manifesting Club this month, it will reopen in September. And we do have our spiritual community open as well, the Cosmic Collective, where I post monthly spiritual lessons. We do monthly spiritual chats together on Zoom, which is really nice. And there is monthly group energy healing as well, along with a community board where you can kind of get to know each other. So, and tons of resources and discounts, 20% off all of my services for the members inside of the Cosmic Collective. That is a subscription, $33 a month, and it is the information's in my bio if you're interested in joining. Okay, so let's keep going. So the final question to Quo is, can you speak to this notion that the universe is working not against us, but for us always? And how, if so, if that's the case, if we're always being given catalyst that's working for us, for the evolution of our soul, for the growth of us, for the strengthening of our manifesting power, if that's the case, then how do we use this knowledge to take full responsibility of our own creation, our own created reality, and really understand how to manifest? Powerful question, you guys. It's a powerful question. I'm going to do my best to articulate in the paraphrase kind of notes that I took, so that way we can all understand this a little bit better. Welcome to the chat. So many people joining the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Holy cow. Missy, Wissam, Judy, Roy, Shara, Linda, Judy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. So Quo starts off with, first Quo, I say he, but it's a group of high density beings. There's no gender associated, it's a group. So Quo responds first about the kind of positive, more easier aspects of this question. And then Quo talks about the challenges, the catalysts of life. Thank you guys. Lala's in the house. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Quo says, right off the gate, Quo says, yes, we can confidently say that your universe is rigged in your favor because each part of the creation, meaning the trees, the paper, right? The Lindsay, the bathrobe, all parts of the creation are part of one infinite creator. So instead of Quo saying God, source, universe, creator, they call that energy, they call it the one infinite creator. Okay. So basically they're saying, yeah, the universe is rigged in your favor. I mean, we could end the conversation right now. And if we all just took that belief and integrated that belief, that energetic belief that everything is always happening for the best for me and for my life, we could be done. I'm done here. My work is done. But it's a little bit more tricky than that, right? Because it's a very abstract idea and it's hard for us to believe that all of the time. Okay. So let's keep talking. So Quo says that we're all part of the one infinite creator, which is supporting, loving, encouraging, and assisting each other. And basically, Quo says that is what unity is. Unity is supporting, loving, encouraging, and assisting each other. So we're one. We're all one. And our energy is ebbing and flowing in a way on this earth, right? With nature, human nature, the tangible, the intangible, the material, the immaterial or non-material. We're ebbing and flowing in a way that is very unifying, okay? And that is exactly how it works. We're supporting each other, we're loving each other, we're encouraging each other and assisting each other. So many people in the room. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you, thank you. Although the number still says 9, so I don't know if people are coming in and out, but that's okay. I'm cool with that. I trust that if you're here, it's because you're meant to hear this information today. So we'll keep going with that. So Quo goes on to say that there are absolutely no mistakes in life. There are not, you cannot, if you view life and you say that was a mistake, absolutely not. It was not a mistake. Ah, Lala, thank you. I just got them redone yesterday. I appreciate that. There are no mistakes because the experiences that we label as a mistake, right? Because we put a label on everything. That's what our brain wants us to do. We want to label right, wrong, mistake, not a mistake, success, failure, right? And it's always a polar, right? Because the law of polarity says we live in this polar world. But remember, the law of neutrality also says everything is neutral until we put a label on it. There are no mistakes because the experience that we label as mistakes are teachings that we are meant to learn from. And we're meant to learn from these teachings even more than we would learn from, say, a success. So I have the person that I learned astrology from, she would tell me, or she would tell the class, she would say that when you see somebody with a very difficult chart, when you start to learn astrology, you know, when you look at a chart, you're like, oh, oh, wow. But rather than viewing it as a challenge, you automatically know that person is so powerful, because they've gone through the challenges. And the one way to become stronger is to go through it, right? To go through it. VIPE. Oh, no, not at all. Not at all, my friend. Not at all. Not at all. It's not targeted at anybody. I'm just sharing the information. That's it. Not toward anybody. Okay, so when we think about mistakes in life, remember that they're not mistakes, right? They're experiences that we've fortunately or unfortunately given ourselves to learn. And that's kind of the tricky part then. Well, do I have free will or don't I? Because Quo is saying you are creatures of life. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So we're meant to learn from our mistakes. Step one. So there's no mistake because it was actually a teaching lesson. You could think of any mistake that you've labeled as a mistake, just like you went to a day of school. Okay, you packed your backpack when you were a kid, your mom put your lunch in it, or your dad or you or whoever, and you took your books and you went to school that day. So the next time you have a mistake, you should just look at it as like, oh, I just spent a day learning in school. Because if you really genuinely take that energy, take that experience and learn from it, and the next time it shows up in your reality, you make a different choice because the first choice was not obviously very productive for you, then you would never have a mistake. You'd be like, okay, that was just a catalyst of growth. That was a catalyst of evolution and expansion. So many people in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Quo says, we are creatures of life and we are creatures of love. And those are the two qualities that we are made of. We are creatures of light and we are creatures of love. And those are the two qualities that we are made of. Because once again, we are from the one infinite creator. God, source, universe, creator, love, whatever you call it, right? Whatever you call it. Quo says the one infinite creator, and the one infinite creator is supporting, loving, encouraging, and assisting each other out. A unifying energy. Thank you for the likes, VIPE. Thank you. 444 likes, you guys. You guys know that 444 has been my number for a hot minute. Good morning, Samantha is in the chat. Good morning, Samantha. Thank you for saying good morning. If you're new here, please say hello. I love interacting with you guys. I know today has been a little bit more me talking, but I would love to interact. And if you're new, especially, I would love to say hi to you. Okay. So what Quo goes on to say is that us humans, today's your 8th day. FYI, I've been seeing it all. Oh, nice, Lala. Number 8, balance, right? Balancing the material and the immaterial, balancing your energy and your creation, balancing the strength of your energetic power and the manifested reality that you've created. Super powerful number, right? Also, people, we talked about this on Lionsgate, 888, right? Or number 8 or 88 is abundance. Yes, in a little bit more of a mundane sense, but in reality, in a very energetic sense, it is the balance. So Quo says that we actually came to Earth, this third density illusion, so we could grow. So I kind of like to think of myself like, if that's the case and I decided to come here to Earth, then it must be for a couple of reasons. I was like a little baby and I wanted to grow up, right? I wanted to learn some new things. Or perhaps, which I feel like this resonates a little bit more for me, that I'm here to like really help, right? So I think we either came to really help in some way, humanity, the collective, nature, however that looks for you, or we were so excited because we were ready to grow. And what Quo says is that in the higher density, in the world of spirit, the world that we can't see with our physical eyes, most of us anyway, in this higher density world of spirit, we did not have the dichotomy. We didn't have the challenges in order to grow. Why? Because those that are in this higher density, it's like they're already so propelled toward the path of service to others. They're so propelled toward love and support and encouragement that it's almost like there's not much of an individual nature about them. So although we are all from the same source, the one infinite creator is what they call it, what Quo is saying is we came down into this third density illusion, by the way, because we needed the individual experiences. Deanna, it has been so long since I've seen you, and I hope you're doing really well. We have missed you in the chat. Thank you for the friendship bracelet. I hope you're doing really well. It's so nice to see you here again. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Hello. Good morning. I hope everything's going well for you. And oh, VIP says that's such an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, so they're saying that when in these higher densities, the beings are kind of almost less motivated in a sense. They're already kind of a unity. They're already kind of like a unit. They're already a little bit unified. And so maybe one of them is like less interested, but because they're all interested in a sense and motivated to this loving, compassionate, sharing the light, radiating out powerful energy anyway, as a unit, they're less motivated to kind of work through any challenges. They're like, we've already kind of made it, basically. But here, we're experiencing those challenges or those catalysts or those mistakes or whatever. And here it allows us to be more individual, even though we're still all from the same source energy. The common denominator is the same source energy, but we have been molded in different ways to be, I look like this and you look like that, and I speak this way, and I am interested in these things, and da 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 da, right? So I thought that was quite interesting that higher density beings work as a unit, as a team, as a group. They don't really split up into an individual effort because they're already all motivated towards the same thing. Deanna, thank you for the lightning bolts. You could think of it as like the people that are in the manifesting club. You're well. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear. I'm really glad to hear. And it's nice to see you back. Kristen's in the house. You can think of it as like the people in the cosmic collective or the people that are in the manifesting club. Sorry, doors just closed last night, but if you want in the manifesting club, you can join next month, okay? We are a team. We're a group of people that are coming together to expand, to grow, to step into our strongest energy, to create our best reality. So yes, we're doing, or any group, a sports team, any organization that has a goal or something that they're looking toward achieving as a team, as a group. I think of that as kind of like the higher density beings. And they're like, we don't actually have to come to Earth because we're already on that path of service to others. We're already on that path of being compassionate and open and radiating our light. Super beautiful. So the biggest question then is, do we have free will? Quo, do we have free will? Quo says, we have free will, and we have our faith to continue our movement on our spiritual evolution. So yes, Quo says, we have free will. But of course there's a caveat, but Quo says, we also, before incarnation, placed certain opportunities for ourselves to utilize within the incarnation in order to bring to fruition the abilities that each of us has. Okay. Quo says, we have provided ourselves with certain qualities, possibilities, talents, questionings, and desires to use this vast storehouse of positive possibility for growth. What the heck is Quo saying? Let's break it down. Let's break it down, because that's a lot of words. And the way that the energy is channeled, and this happens for me sometimes too, language is a construct, and it's inherently, because there are rules around language, there's limiting beliefs, or there's limits that are placed on our language, right? If we were to speak telepathically to each other, we wouldn't have a problem understanding each other. Why? Because I could show you exactly what I was feeling in that moment. I could send to you the photo in my brain. It wouldn't be words. The words are limiting. It's like a box on the mouth, kind of. That's the way I see it with words. It makes things kind of tricky for us humans on Earth, but we try our best, right? We try our best. Thank you for the lightning bolts, Deanna. That's super sweet of you. Super sweet. Thank you for the likes, VIP. Thank you for the likes, VIP. Whoa. So Quo is saying we do have free will. That's good news. But Quo also says that before we came to this lifetime, we created kind of this roadmap. And we talked about this yesterday. Streamlights, how beautiful. Those are so pretty. Why do I love those so much? I love those so much. Thank you so much, Deanna. Quo says that we created kind of a roadmap before we came down. we decided on certain experiences and opportunities, and we put them in our life on our paths to help us bring out our talents, you guys, our talents, the natural characteristics within us, our natural abilities, the qualities, the possibilities, the questionings, our desires. And so, especially when we're stuck with like more challenging catalysts, which we're going to talk about in a second, we have to remember that there are many things that we've placed on our path to help us become who we're meant to be. And if we came into this earth just wildly talented at every little thing we did, and we had all the abundance of the world, and we could manifest just by speaking it out, which many of you can, by the way, just you don't believe that, so you don't try, perhaps things would be a little bit boring. And then you would be less motivated like the higher density beings, right? You probably wouldn't even be on this planet. So good morning, Mallory. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Lala, we're going to get to the challenges in a second. But I can almost guarantee you that that circumstance, as those with your parents, has made you the person that you are, and you're likely wildly stronger and more empowered because of it, right? So let's keep going. So Quo basically says, once again, we do have free will, but we also placed these kind of experiences in our path. I questioned many times, like, why did I do that for so long? Or why didn't I make a different choice? Or why did I ever experience this? What was the point of this? Da 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 da. But every time I look back on something that I thought was so awful, by the way, this is a really powerful exercise you guys can do. If you feel like you're really stuck on something in the past, you can look back at any time you thought something was so awful and write all the things that came of it. Why did I get this business idea and then struggle with it for 3 years, spend tons of money, go into the wrong entrepreneurial group, come home to a sick dog after a conference, get into a car accident where I almost died? Oh, right, because that's how I actually tapped into my clairaudient capabilities. Sounds awful, all those things, but like, if I didn't have those experiences, would I have what I am today? No. The answer is absolutely no. Lydia, thank you for the follow. And so, yeah, Deanna, that's an option too. So then we're going to tie in this conversation. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with the Akashic Records lady that I was listening to the other night. She says that we have different exit points in our blueprint, basically. Our soul is up there planning things out. We come down here with free will. Ish, I think we have now ever since that hypnosis question, I'm questioning if we have like full free will, or if we just have like 80% free will or 90% free will, but we supposedly have free will. But we also have placed these experiences to kind of like shake us up a little, catalyst, if you will, to help us grow. So let's take a breath. We're going to talk then about the response to the challenging catalysts. So Lala, Deanna, somebody's calling me. Ooh, sorry guys. Sorry. We're going to talk a little bit about the challenges. And we're going to tie it all back together with, is this universe specifically created and rigged in favor of my life? Not just mine, you guys. I say mine because I'm talking me, but you. Is this universe rigged in your favor? Quo says yes. Good morning, Kara, coming in with the energy. Okay, I see you. Good morning. Welcome to the chat, my beautiful friend. So step one, Quo is saying there's no mistakes, right? Let's recap really quickly. Yes, we have the favor in the universe. There are no mistakes. We came here to experience success and what we would label as mistakes, failures, lessons, challenges, because we want to grow. And the way to grow is by experiencing things that challenge us, that put us out of our comfort zone. That's how we grow. And Quo reminds us that we are creatures of the love and light, that we are cut from the one infinite creator. And that one infinite creator is supporting, loving, encouraging, and assisting, unifying. Okay. And lastly, that we have free will, but we also did create certain experiences before we incarnated, so that we would grow and evolve. How powerful. I think super powerful. I think, okay, cool. Bring it on. Bring it on then. I'm ready. How much more do I have to go? I don't know. Forever and ever, I guess. Okay, so then let's see what Quo says about challenging catalyst. What happens when we feel like we're experiencing something so challenging that it's like, why did we choose that? Or what was the point of that? I can't imagine that I would have chosen that. Okay. So once again, you guys, I have notes right here, and some things I'm going to read fully and then we'll break it down, simply because I don't want to lose the essence of what Quo says. So Quo says the challenging catalysts are of a nature that forces a realization for the spiritual seeker. You are the spiritual seeker, to the effect that the self that you have imagined yourself to be must very often be abandoned as no longer sustainable in the face of the catalyst you have no choice but to confront. This is a long sentence, you guys. A catalyst that you have no choice but to find some way to assimilate to. What was the reason sound? Oh, I don't know that sound. I'm not on that side of TikTok. Thank you, Quanta629, for the roses. Guys, 1 second. This is driving me nuts. Okay, there we go. Okay. The challenging catalysts are of a nature that forces a realization for the spiritual seeker. So you get a challenging catalyst because it's forcing you to realize that the self that you have imagined yourself to be, that's powerful in and of itself, must very often be abandoned as no longer sustainable in the face of the catalyst you have no choice but to confront. Okay. Is it still delayed? My phone was like kind of stuck on something. Let's break it down again, you guys. So basically what Quo is saying is that you experience a challenging catalyst. Oh, that's cute. Thank you. That was so cute, Deanna. Thank you. You receive a challenging catalyst because as a spiritual seeker, which you are, you're listening to this, so I would believe that you're a spiritual seeker first and foremost. The feed is a little funky. Oh, I see. VIPE. Got it. The feed. Yeah, you know what? Both my technologies today, my phone, TikTok, and YouTube, a little bit funky, but whatever. We're going to keep going with it. That was weird. I thought I had something on my hand. Okay, so this catalyst forces you to realize as a spiritual seeker that the self you have imagined. Now, what Quo is implying here is that we imagine ourselves as something. The self that you have imagined yourself to be has to be abandoned, is what Quo is saying. You have received this challenge because who you have imagined yourself to be must be abandoned so that you can basically step into who you are meant to become or be. So when I think about this, Kristen, thank you for the comment. Welcome here. I think you're new. Kristen Thrash, welcome to the chat. So when I think about this, I think about my car accident because it goes so perfectly hand in hand with this idea. And I think that if you could think about a few challenges you faced in your life and they were so strong that they forced you in a totally opposite direction, I bet you can apply this to your life right now too, okay? These challenging catalysts came to you as a spiritual seeker, somebody who desires to evolve your soul, because you are somebody who likely desires to help others or the collective or nature or humanity in some way to raise the frequency of the planet. They came to you to basically shake you out of it, like wake up, right? So remember, I had finally, you guys, if I couldn't even like make the timing of it up to make it better. It's like one of those things that it happened because it happened exactly how it was meant to happen, exactly in the right timing. And had I written a story about it that was fiction, the timing wouldn't have even been this good. It's one of those things you cannot make up. I finally, after months of working part-time for my last corporate job, finally they were like, okay, it's time, we can let you go. And I was like, thank you. I've been asking to be done for months now. Okay. Step one, the week before, I can't quite remember, but it was so dang close to the day that I finally got to just focus in on my business, past business, nothing to do with this. I get a call that my dad has cancer. Okay, well, my plans are just gone. I no longer are those plans a plan. I'm going to now focus in on how I can assist my parents, how I can help my family. I am somebody that has now been blessed with time. I've been blessed with time. I don't have to answer to a boss. I don't have to answer to anybody. I can get on a plane tomorrow and I can go see my family. Okay, so I go do that. I start learning all about energy healing. It's like a pull. Like I go online, I buy the books, and I'm like reading. My Reiki hands are like buzzing right now. Okay, I start learning. I start diving in deep, discovering. My dad passes, and I feel like maybe this isn't what I was meant to do, because how come I didn't get to save my dad? So I have to learn some more. 3 months of becoming an energy healer is I'm going to save somebody's soul when their contract is expired. That's just how it works. So I learned that, and I'm still learning about energy healing. I'm still quite interested, but now I'm focused again on this business that is not working. And I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing, and there's no wu way, and I'm not the river, and I'm trying to blast through the boulders, and I'm trying to go up the mountain with all the rocks, and I'm pushing. And I go to the business conference, the entrepreneurial group. And as soon as I get there, I'm like, this is not the place for me. I just knew it. I felt it. I was like, these are not my people. This is uncomfortable for me. But I did get the book, The Alchemist, at that conference, and I read it on the flight home. I mourned my dad. At that day on that flight home, I decided I'm quitting that group. These are not the people for me. This is not who I want to be associated with. I mourned that. I mourned the loss of my father. I mourned the business. I was like, I'm shutting down my business. I don't even want this business. I'm so tired of trying so hard for nothing to happen. Now, I didn't have a bad attitude, you guys, by the way. I was really pretty positively oriented at that time. But I read The Alchemist. I said, okay, clearly I was inspired. I was like, I'm on the wrong path. The Alchemist told me, you are on the wrong path. Now, that's not what the words in the book said. The words in the book teach you how to discover, are you on the right path or not? And I knew then and there I was on the wrong path. I get home, my little dog is sick. You guys know the story. I get in the car. As soon as I land off the flight, I basically get in my car and I drive to the veterinarian's office. And then boom, on the way, I get into an awful car accident. Do you know that those catalysts, challenging as heck? My dad passing, finally getting to like do and be what I wanted to be at that time, my sense of self that I imagined myself to be. I finally got to be the person I imagined myself to be. But when you say it like that, it sounds kind of silly. Like, oh, so lucky me, I got to be who I imagined myself to be. But God, source, universe, creator, the infinite one creator was like, this is not who you are, in fact. And so I got catalyst. What was the first catalyst? Maybe the first catalyst was when I went to quit my job. My boss was like, you can't quit. Oh my gosh, you can't quit. What do you mean you're quitting? You're quitting to start your own business? Maybe that was the first catalyst. And then maybe the second catalyst was a big catalyst. Oh, the day that you finally get to focus in on what you want to really, what you imagine yourself to be and do, you find out your dad has cancer. That's a big catalyst. And then, oh, you're at this business conference where you energetically know, other than one person, you energetically know these are absolutely not your people. Absolutely not your people. But you're there, so you finish the conference, you're learning some things about business. Another catalyst. The Alchemist, a catalyst. The car accident, a wake-up call. Wake up, Lindsay, you are going in the wrong direction. Okay? So once again, these catalysts are forces. They're of a nature that forces a realization for the spiritual seeker to the effect that the self that you've imagined yourself to be must very much be abandoned. You guys, I abandoned that day, that business. That day, I shut everything down. I shut all my websites down that I worked so hard on. I started getting rid of all the materials. I just was like, I'm done. I'm literally done. That person like doesn't even exist anymore. So you have to be okay with abandoning things that are not suited for you so you can step into who you are truly here to be. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in these cycles because they're too nervous. They're like, but this is what I've done. This is what I've invested in. And it's like, yeah, I invested like 4 years of my life into that business. I don't even think about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm just like, okay, I learned a lot. I literally learned a lot. I learned so much about business. So then I could step into who I'm meant to become, right? So then Quo says, if you were to ask yourself, who am I? You could very easily just say, I'm love and light. And if you are in the spiritual community, you already know that. But I think a lot of people say, oh, love and light, everything's love and light. yes and no, right? Yes and no. Some people get hung up on, we must do the shadow work. We must do all this inner child healing. Yeah, to a certain extent, but at what point are you just going to accept that that's what it was and it made you who you are now? At what point? Because you have to decide at some point, or you're just going to stay on this healing journey and there's always going to be something that has to be healed. When you're meant to start on a healing journey, come into the self-acceptance journey, go into the truth seeking part of the journey. That's my personal belief. So I think at what point are we going to continue talking about this healing that needs to be healed, rather than just say, I accept that for what it is. I know that it's made me the person I am today. I'm very strong because of it. And now I'm going to keep going on my way of loving myself fully, no matter what has happened for me, because the universe is rigged in my favor. Thank you for the lightning bolts, Deanna. Lala says, yeah. Kristen says, thank you. Or maybe high five. Are these high five? Is it prayer hands? I always look at it as prayer hands, but some people say it's a high five. I don't quite know. I think it's like prayer. Namaste, maybe? Okay. So, but then Chloe says, well, the hard part for most humans, because we're humans, spiritual beings, is I say prayer. Yeah, I think it's prayer too, Kristen. Yeah. This one too. It's like, yeah, go on. Yeah, like hallelujah. Yeah, exactly. I think that too. Okay, so then Quo says, the thing is we could just accept that we're love and light and that everything's working in our favor, but it's so abstract in us humans because we are sensory. Most of us are moving through life using our five senses rather than our connection, our channeled energy to our higher self and God, source, universe, creator, the one infinite creator. And so it's an abstract idea for most people. They can't grasp their mind around, how am I just love and light? How is everything working out for me? They can't see it with their eyes yet, but I promise you that if you were to move through your spiritual journey, continuously meditate, seek out the truth, understand, grow and evolve, allow the energy to work with you, you would start to see how you are always being guided. You would know exactly what to do, right? That's where I'm at in my part of this journey. And so it's hard when you're not there yet to believe it, but I promise you that it's viable. It's real. I don't know. I mean, I think that you either decide that yes, it is real for me or not. I think that's for something you to find out, right? Because you are your own experiment. Your life is your own experiment and experience. So then Ko says, so much of the journey then is following through the catalyst. Ko basically says, what happens is most of our journey then is just following the catalysts that come into our life experience to nourish and stimulate further growth, to recognizing that you are actually a spark from the one infinite creator. So the reason that we experience these catalysts, and much of our spiritual journey, if you're on one, and likely you are because you're listening to me, is that the catalysts are here to help us, bring us closer to recognizing that we are in fact cut from the one infinite creator. We are a spark of love and light. Allie, this is not a book. This is, if you were to go to llresearch.org, they are a group that's been channeling a high density being called Quo for 50 years, 1972, 1974. So it's one of their channelings. It's from the September 17th, 2016 channeling. You're welcome. So then Quo goes on to say, from childhood on, we've learned to create. We talk about this all the time, you guys. We came here to create. Quo confirms, from childhood on, we have learned to create, ultimately creating our sense of self. But it is important to keep in mind that we live within an envelope of our own creation. So did Quo just confirm that we are human spiritual beings, that first and foremost are artists, are creators, that we came here to create, and that we create our sense of self, whether it's imagined or real, we create it, and that we live within the envelope of our own creation. We live in our own reality. I say that all the time. You are the only one that lives in your own reality. It's so powerful. Thank you, kicking it with K. Thank you. It's Missoni. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel empowered? If you don't like the word powerful, I know a lot of people don't like the word power. So do you feel empowered? Are you like, okay, Quo says it, Quo, group of high density beings, Quo that doesn't come to earth because they've already experienced it all and figured it out. Thank you, VIPE. I think it's so powerful. basically saying that you have learned to create from the day that you came here, and you are creating your sense of self always. These catalysts are coming to you because you want to come closer to your truth, which is that you are love and light. You are a spark of the one infinite creator. And that it's important to remember, and this is where compassion comes in for others. I think this is really important when we come to live under the law of one, recognizing we really are all one, is that we do live in our own reality. And so what I recognize about that is I realize I live in the reality I created. And I also realize that you live in the reality you created. I can't judge you for your own creation. If your created reality is not what you desire and you feel stuck or sad or angry or resentful or sorrow or lack of motivation, whatever it may be, I can hold compassion for you. I can recognize and I can send you love saying, I know that you've created this reality, but I can also empower you and say, but because you've created it, you can also change it. You're not stuck in your creation. Quo says the catalysts are here because we're meant to abandon our sense of imagined self. Deanna says it's all true. VIPE says I just went to the site and they're based in Louisville and I just got home from Louisville. Synchronicity. Yeah, they're a powerful group. They started channeling with, they actually have free, you guys, they have free books. They channeled, I teach about the chakras. They channeled so much information about the chakras. They have a few books about channeling. They have a book about living the law of one. It is extensive, hundreds of pages. They have extensive channelings. They've been doing this forever and they're a nonprofit. And to me, I can appreciate the teachings because you can't, it's like you can't really make it up as a human. Like if you were to just tomorrow, say you didn't know anything about spirituality, you wouldn't be able to sit down and just write this stuff. It is coming through from a higher source and they are articulating it for us. Now, sometimes you get conscious channeling, which is the person that's channeling is conscious and they can filter and kind of help articulate based on their own experiences. That's a channeling I do currently when I'm doing my channel messages for the zodiac signs. It's like I'm receiving information and sometimes they're asking me to articulate it and help put it together. Now there's also trance or unconscious channeling where the person quite genuinely is the tool. So we were watching something, my partner and I were watching Bashar yesterday for a second, and my partner was like, I don't get it, because he said he'll see you later. And I said, well, he said he'll see you later because it's like he's the CD player and Bashar, the entity, is the CD. And so what is his name? I can't remember his name. He's not doing anything other than playing the CD. He's playing the music. He's not changing it. He's not figuring out which notes to put together. He's just playing the music. So quite literally, he does not know or remember what he said. You're welcome for sharing. Yeah. So VIP, you're welcome. And Kara says, I love that. Yeah. So when you think about people that channel, specifically those that are doing trance channeling where they say, okay, bye, see you later. It's like, well, where did they go? Well, they have given themselves energetically as a tool so that the energy can come through and they can just articulate it. He inspires me, by the way, because he channels with his eyes closed all the time. And I thought maybe I'm not, is it an ego thing? I don't know, but maybe I'm not as good of a channeler because I channel with my eyes closed too. But I recognize that it's just how your energy works. Anyway, as a little aside. Okay, so finally, Quo says that you will continuously experience a new version of yourself over and over and over again. So if you are stuck, if you're currently stuck, then I would look to see what are some catalysts that I've experienced in the last week, the last month, and am I paying attention to them or am I ignoring them, causing myself to stay in the same position? And also, yeah, he has been doing it for a long time. Hello, Ezra. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing, my friend? How are your studies going? I'm perfect. Kara, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I do get hard on myself when I do the channelings. I get nervous. Am I doing this right? Is this real? I still have that a little bit. I think that's natural. But as I do it more and more, I feel more and more confident with my abilities. So lastly, he quote says that as you encounter challenging people, challenging circumstances, challenging emotions, challenging events, he says, or quote says, I don't know why I always say he. I think in my mind, quote is like a masculine name, but it is not a gender. It's a group, right? So there's no gender. But quote says, you must consciously remind yourself that all is well. Victoria is in the house. Victoria, I deleted my Instagram for good. I recognized I needed a radical change in my life and I started there. Yeah, Instagram is weird. Maybe I should just delete mine too. I don't really like it. I never go on it. My Facebook too. My mom will be like, I sent you something on Facebook. I'm like, Mom, I have not used Facebook for like 4 years. That's not true. Maybe like a year, 2 years. Lala says, you're so easy to gravitate to and you make things more relatable and understandable. Thank you so much. Kara says, I've never had it. Go on, Kara. Look at you. Big flags. Some astrologers say that Instagram is like on its transition out of our reality. VIP says, I'm deleting mine in January and it's been so free. Yeah. Insta on Facebook. Yeah. VIP, I don't use either. I have profiles there, but I don't. It's like so rare that I even go on. The hard part is when you leave those platforms, we still have friends on that platform, but you don't have friends on the TikTok. I just became like a grandma on the TikTok. The hard part is then you kind of lose connection sometimes. I miss using it for Google, but oh well. VIPE, yeah, you can just Google, TikTok has been created as a search engine, by the way, which is why search engine optimization for those of you trying to grow your TikTok following is really important. So TikTok is a search engine, just like YouTube. So anyway. All right, you guys, that's my story today and I'm sticking to it. Let's recap really quickly. Live life. Rumi says, paraphrased by the way, live life as if everything is rigged in your favor. Recognize that when you experience catalyst, it is for your growth and evolution. Recognize that you have never made a mistake in your own life. Specifically, if you've learned from something, then it is not a mistake, right? It is growth. We are creatures of love and light. And the reason that we experience our catalysts and our challenges in life are because we, from a soul perspective, we know we are love and light, but it's hard to articulate that in this physical world where we're using our senses, our physical senses, not our sixth sense, not our intuitions, our physical senses to kind of move through life. Now, if you were to become very serious about changing your life, growing and evolving your soul, you would step into a meditation routine daily, start cleansing your energy, which means releasing those things. Remember, quote says, we have to abandon often those things. We have to abandon our sense of self that we imagined. I imagined I was going to have this big accessories business and I was going to pop off and but that's not who I was. And they're like, you got to abandon that. If you want to move forward in your life and manifest your best reality, you have to move away from that. You have to abandon that sense of who you were. Okay, fine. It didn't take much. Well, actually it did. I mean, a whole car accident where I thought I was going to die, I met an angel instead and got clairaudient capabilities was kind of a lot. It was kind of a lot. But I'm laughing about it. I'm grateful for it, right? I'm grateful for it. All right, guys. Deanna says, stay positive. Much love. Same to you, Deanna, always. It's so nice to see you back in the chat, by the way, my friend. I'm glad that you're doing well. Victoria says, thanks. I already feel so light. I was talking through my feelings about it with my boyfriend and cried. Yeah, allow it. You know what, Victoria, what happens when you abandon or release something that is no longer serving you? Something so, and by the way, if it's more attached culturally, like everybody's on Instagram, how could you not have Instagram? That kind of energy, then it's going to be a little bit stronger of a pull, right? Likely. You're going to say, oh, what am I missing out on? You got the FOMO, maybe the ego attachment. Not to say this is you, Victoria. I'm just saying when it's more cultural, when it's a bigger idea, right? It's like the fashion girlies on TikTok. I don't watch those girls because I'm like, you're pushing fast fashion. It's like Adidas Sambas. Everybody go get Adidas Sambas. And then you see like girls on the street and it's just like photo, it's like copy paste. You know what I mean? Everybody, this is what's in this season. Everybody, this is what's in this season. Mob Wife lasted for like a month, I think, last year. Everybody went and bought a fur coat to wear for a month or something. So it's like that kind of energy. It's like when it's a really big, like hive kind of mentality, it's going to be harder to detach from. But if you know in your heart it is not serving you, let it go. Try your best. Because when you let it go, what do? Victoria, what you've done is you've opened yourself up to new abundance flowing to you because you've released something that in your energetic space that's not serving you. So likely you'll receive more TikTok followers if that's your desire. You'll meet different people in different platforms. However, that abundance will flow to you. Or maybe you are selling more on your Depop or something because you've let go of the Instagram. Like there's some way abundance is going to flow to you. And I would be interested to hear what that way is. So keep us posted, please. Keep us posted. VIPE says, how do we abandon what we think we want and manifest what we want at the same time? Deanna, you're welcome. Sunshine, I'm fired. Thank you, Lala. How do we abandon what we think we want and manifest what we want at the same time? Well, I don't think you need to abandon what you think you want. I think you should go with what you think you want because there's a reason you desire it, okay? So is it a logical thinking? Oh, I think I want this because I saw some other girl had it. Or is it like, oh, I desire that because I was inspired by something and da 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 da, right? So if it's in your heart as a desire, go with it. But then pay attention to it's a raising of an awareness to pay attention to the catalyst that surrounds you to say, am I being nudged in this way that my manifestation is coming true? Or am I receiving challenge over challenge over challenge over challenge over challenge where perhaps I'm headed in the wrong direction? And I promise you guys, the catalysts are going to start small and then they're going to go bigger, 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 bigger until it's like, boom, wake up. So really expanding your awareness is what's key here, especially when it comes to recognizing your manifestations and if you're on the right path. Now, what I've done for myself, because it is very much a requirement and it's an individual experience. Your life is your own experiment. My life is my own experiment. Remember, you create your reality. You're the only one living in your reality. So you might as well create it exactly how you desire it to be. Remember though, if you create something and you don't love it, then just let it go. Like you created it so you can create something new, right? It's not like you can only create 10 things. God, Source, Universe, Creator is like, okay, Lindsay, you get 10 things and Deanna gets 10 things. No, you get as many things as you want, right? So choose your things, choose your things. And then if you don't like something that showed up, then recreate. You can keep pieces of it and get rid of some other pieces, or you could get rid of it fully, or you could keep half of it, whatever, right? So I would say manifest what you desire. But if in this process of manifesting, you're experiencing catalyst after catalyst that feels like a challenge, it's not like, oh, synchronicity. A synchronicity is a good thing. A synchronicity is saying your manifestation is on its way. A catalyst, a challenge is saying, maybe you're headed in the wrong direction. But ultimately, it's you have to use your discernment to know, is this me headed in the right direction or not? Now, there is interesting times, and I'll share my one experience really quickly. We're going a little bit over today, but that's okay because I was a little bit late. I am honoring my time boundaries still as best I can. There was one time where I thought that I was receiving a synchronicity, a green light from God, Source, Universe, Creator, but then nothing happened. So I was thinking about right before we were moving from California to Michigan for the summer last year, I was thinking about launching some group energy healing. I was going to launch a group course where everyone was going to come in, and for 7-8 weeks, we were going to work on each chakra. And I was going to be the one leading the actual course rather than doing it self-paced. And I was like, I want a blue octopus if this is for me, if this is the right timing. I had all my notes. I literally had like the price, the timing of it, the dates, what I was going to do. I had it in my notes. And I said, God, Source, Universe, Creator, if this plan is right for me, please show me a blue octopus within 24 hours. Why did I choose a blue octopus? Because when do you ever see a blue octopus? I have no idea. I was like, that seems really strange and I would want to see it. So I saw the next day, my friend had posted, she's in Greece, in Santorini, where everything is blue, blue doors, blue awnings, blue, 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 right? And she's in Santorini and she's posting blue, 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 blue. And in the middle of all the blue, there's a picture of octopus on a boat. Octopi, 2 of them, I think octopi. And I'm like, holy cow. And then the next 3 pictures in her Instagram story are blue, 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 blue. So I am like, blue octopus. Did I just see my sign? In my mind, I was like, I just saw my sign. I'm going to launch. I launched and I received nothing. Crickets. However crickets sound. That was a poor impression. Crickets. So I was like, well, what the heck? Because I saw my synchronicity and I said, this is my plan. Well, when I look back on that, my true belief is that it was the green light to go. But at the time I was coaching, I was doing like spiritual business coaching. So it's kind of more like business oriented. And I didn't really love it, but I was like, I really love business, but I don't really love what I'm doing, coaching business. I don't really love that. But it was kind of like my last ditch effort. Like, okay, come on, something has to hit here, right? And when I launched and nobody signed up, I was like, that's my cue. I'm still in the, like, I'm getting closer, but I'm still in the wrong direction. So does that resonate for you guys? Can you see how there's like, even though it seemed like it was time and I got the green light from God, Source, Universe, Creator, I got crickets, meaning nobody signed up, nobody was interested, nothing. And I was like, well, what, you know? But then I'm like, oh, because this is a very small catalyst. This is a catalyst saying, Lindsay, nobody signed up even though we said go. And so if you're aware, Lindsay, you'll know that you're still a little bit off course as far as what you're meant to do in this lifetime, in this reality, from your soul's deepest desires. Does that resonate for you guys? I'm going to catch up on the comments while you guys like sit with that for a second. Mallory, yes. Victoria says to Mallory, yes. Let it go, let it flow, let it grow. I love that. Oh, with the emojis and everything, Mallory, go girl. Victoria, I'm so proud of you. Deleted my apps back in November. You got this. Yeah. Oh, VIP says that's clicking intuition of desire, not desiring things for the outcome they'll bring. A little bit of both, I think. You can do both. Alchemize, go on, my friend. Okay, we've got this. Thank you. I feel this would be a good change. Victoria said, da, da, da. Thank you for sharing the live, Jenna Frog. Thank you. That's sweet. The butterfly is in the chat. Welcome back, my friend. Okay, so you guys, we're going to get on the energetic wave. I hope that resonates with you. I hope that you start to see your catalyst more and more. Now, the important part, once again, is becoming very aware of yourself. You have to practice your awareness. You have to observe yourself, the observer effect, go out of your body, pay attention to what you're doing. I'm watching myself record this YouTube live and this TikTok live for my followers and my friends. You have to build that awareness, because as you build the awareness, that's when you start to actually see. When I say see, physically see, you know when you're getting a confirmation, you know when it's the next step, you know when it's time to launch or whatever. And so nobody can build your awareness for you. That's the key. You have to do it for yourself. It's like going to the gym. Like, trust me, if somebody could go run 10 miles for me every day, I would hire that person. I would. Wouldn't that be nice, right? By the way, you guys, really quickly, there's a study done that they did a test of somebody who did no bicep curls, somebody who did bicep curls visualizing it only in their head, for the same amount of time that somebody did bicep curls in real life with their physical body. Obviously, the person that did nothing happened. The person that did the bicep curls got some more muscle. The person that only visualized themselves doing it, feeling the energy moving in their body, still gained muscle. So you better believe I'm doing crunchers in bed at night. I'm like, crunch, crunch. Why not? Why not? This was an amazing talk. I absolutely loved it, Lala. I learned a lot. Thank you. You're welcome. Literally, like, can somebody come sub in for a minute? I know, right? VIP says, haha, I love it. But I mean, come on. If they already have proven scientifically that energetically you can start to change your physique, or you can change, obviously, we know you can change your reality with your thoughts, then why not? Go for it. I'm not joking when I say I like really do that. When I remember, I'm like, yeah, do a plank, do planks, do like a couple 3-minute planks while you're just hanging out. You're gonna start your mental exercises. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm somebody who doesn't have a lot of earth energy, so I'm not really physically connected with my physical being, and so like I don't force exercise anymore, but I definitely do Like I get my steps in and all that, but like to go to the gym and like lift the weights is just like so, I don't know if this makes sense for you guys. Maybe some of you it resonates. It's so metal and so aggressive in a gym. Even if the people are like the nicest people, it's like heavy, aggressive, uh, the metal. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like, oh. Maybe I'm in my soft girl era. I don't know. Anyway, VIPE says the gym of mental fitness. Maybe that's my new business venture. There you go. Yes, the energy is loud and heavy. Exactly. I feel that. I can't agree enough to try wrist weights while you're walking. Oh, Lala, yeah, I do. I have my Bala bangles. I've had them forever, and I use them on my feet and my wrists all the time. So love those. They're really great. And I'm, I like yoga and Pilates and all that, but the gym is just not where I want to be. Anyway, let's get on the energetic wave, you guys. I am 4 minutes over my decided time that I wanted to end in my head. So we got to get on this wave. Let's do it. If you're new here, all you have to do is listen to me and repeat after me. Super easy. Close your eyes. Let's take a few deep breaths, breathing in, letting it go. Breathing in through the nose, letting it out of your mouth. One more deep breath in and sighing it out. Think of something you are manifesting. Remember, you are the own creator of your own reality. If you feel a little bit stuck in life, let's just change the thoughts. I'm going to make a TikTok about this, you guys, but recognize that you are never stuck in life. Your brain is stuck on a thought loop. That is it. Your brain is stuck on a thought loop. So reprogram, influence yourself, remind yourself that you are the ultimate creator of your reality and you are so powerful and you can do it. Think about what you're manifesting. I am strong. Repeat it out loud after me. I am strong. I can do this. Smile big and show me your teeth first. I freaking did it. I knew I could do it. I am strong. I can do this. Ooh, the sun is shining so bright on my face right now. Show me your teeth first. Smile big. I freaking did it. I knew I could do it. Now breathing in, pulling up the vision from your root chakra to your crown, expanding it out to the universe. And on the exhale, bringing the energy down from the crown, quite literally bringing it from the spiritual down to the root chakra, kind of swirling that energy at the root, cementing it into your physical reality. I can't wait to see you guys in the Manifesting Club in tomorrow night already. Breathing in, pulling the energy up the root to the crown, expanding it out, really visualizing yourself, feeling it, recognizing how you'll feel, and then bringing it back down, down, down the chakra system to the root where you're cementing it in. One more time, repeat out loud after me. I am strong. I can do this. Show me your teeth first. Smile big. You're manifesting your best life ever. You better be happy about it. I freaking did it. I knew I could do it. All right, my friends, you are on the energetic wave with me. I hope you have an amazing day. For those of you that are waiting on your reports, I am typing like a crazy woman over on my end of the computer screen, the phone screen, working away. I'm hoping to have more of them out today for you. And who's on the wave? VIP is on the wave. Mallory is giving brain exercises. That's cute. You're welcome, Victoria. Keep us posted, Victoria. I'm curious to know if you recognize any abundance that flows to you. Remember, in the form of compliments, happiness, a discount, somebody paying for your coffee, money in the bank, whatever it might be, new followers on TikTok, whatever it might be. I'm curious to know what's going to happen now that you've released the stagnant Instagram energy from your life. Much love, Deanna. Thank you. It was so nice. Thank you for all the gifts, Deanna. And it was so nice to see you back here. I'm glad you're doing well. That makes me very happy. Catherine's on the wave. Bee Butterfly's giving me likes. Mallory's on the wave. Lala's on the wave. For those of you that are manifesting, reminder tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. The email is probably being sent out around right now with Zoom details, and you'll get another reminder an hour before we start. And then Friday, 10 a.m. right after this. For those of you that are in the Cosmic Collective, the energy healing session is August 21st at 10 a.m. August 21st, which is Wednesday at 10 a.m. And our spiritual chat is Friday the 23rd at 10 a.m. Yeah, both at 10 a.m. I know, I had to take a second. All right, bye, you guys. Have a great, yes, keep us posted, Victoria. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you back here tonight at 5 p.m. Maybe. It's a maybe on this one. I know I missed last night's live too. My partner came home super early. Maybe tonight. I do have a client this evening, so we'll see how it goes. But if not, for sure tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.